Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today I was going to show a feature of the Record Power Lathe. It has a outboard attachment on it that I can turn my headstock, and I can turn on the outboard side of my lathe. The piece I'm going to be turning is a piece of white oak, and it measures 17 inches across, and it won't fit over the bed of my lathe, so I'm going to turn it on the outboard side. Yeah, this piece of white oak that's here, it's 17 inches across. It's about, looks like about 3.5, 4 inches thick. Yeah, three and a half inches thick. It weighs, I weighed it. It weighs just over 33 pounds, about 33 and a quarter pounds. So the chuck that comes with the Record lathe, the SC4, it comes with an adapter that you can screw onto your piece of wood. And this has like a dovetail in it, and it'll go onto my chuck, which makes it a lot easier to mount this. You don't have to put a recess in it. You can just screw this on. Just make sure you use good screws to screw it onto the piece of wood. So I will show you how this mounts on. The feature of the Record Power Lathe is I can take my headstock, I can slide it along the bed for one thing, but I can also turn it out. "90 degrees to my bed, and now I can turn on the outboard side of my lathe. Now to do this, you have to buy this outrigger, which turns and swivels. You can move it in and out, back and forth. And it says you can turn up to a 39-inch diameter on here. So the largest I've turned was a small, it was 21-inch picture frame that I just put a groove in it, so it wasn't a real heavy piece of wood by any means. This piece of oak is quite a bit heavier. So we're going to mount it up into the chuck, and we'll see how it's going to turn. This is going to be the heaviest piece of wood I've turned this way so far on the lathe, so we'll see how it's going to turn out. So as you can see, this just mounts right on my chuck, and it pretty well mounts in there nice and tight. Like I say, it's got a very positive grip on there. It's not coming off. As you can see, this piece of wood is a little bit out of balance. So we'll see how it's going to turn here. I got it set to the slowest speed right at the moment, which is about 250 RPM. One thing nice about the Record lathe too is when you start it up, it does not just start up at a fast speed. It starts up at a slow speed. You can see that's at 240 RPM right there. That's at 400 right there. You're starting to get a little bit of wobble. Like I say, it's not balanced. Once I get it a little bit better balance, I'll be able to turn the speed up. I'm just going to rough this out because there's still around 25% moisture in this piece of wood. So yeah, I'm just going to grab a chisel and I'll get back to turning. So we're going to start out. I'm going to use my 1/2-inch 40/40 grind. So as you can see, the rest is very solid. Yeah, it does a good job. It does a really good job. You got to remember when you're turning this, because you don't have a center, that you want to make sure if you're going to put a foot on this side that you've got the side you want facing you, to put a recess in here to reverse it, to put it back on the chuck, to hollow out the inside of the bowl. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a recess on this side to fit the chuck, and then we'll come back and we'll turn it around and hollow some of the inside out. Okay guys, we're back. I've turned a tenon on the back of this bowl. And I'm going to take one of my other chucks and mount it on here. These have a bigger jaws than what my other chuck has, so I'm going to use this chuck. Mount it on. And then we'll take the piece off the lathe and reverse it. So there we go. So now what I'll do is take this chuck off. And then I'll mount this back onto the lathe. You can see how much this is out of balance here. It goes from almost touching out to about an inch out. So once we take that off, the amount of wood off, it's going to balance this piece of wood out pretty good. So that's what we're going to do now. So now we got it pretty even there. We can crank the speed up. there we go, guys. That's the outboard turning on the Record Power. It seems to work very well. I'm very pleased with the way the lathe works. It's met all my expectations and more. So yeah, I mean, I'll probably finish this off, and once I get it all done and dried out, maybe we'll do another video of the finishing touches we're going to put on it. It's going to have to dry for a little bit. It's still pretty wet. Yeah, so really pleased with the lathe. The service has been exceptional from Record Power, and if you're interested, either look up Record Power or check out Stockroom Supply. That's the dealer in Ontario. In fact, I think they may be the only dealer for Record Power in Canada. But yeah, check out Stockroom Supply. They'll be able to steer you in the right direction. This is only one of the models they have. Yeah, I'm very pleased with the lathe. So yeah, until next time, thanks, and don't forget to subscribe, and thanks again.